I can see you, and you still didn't point.
I
You're supposed to
did.
do the 3, 2,
I
1
did.
with your
Oh yeah,
fingers,
you.
and the 1 is your point at the camera.
Okay, 5.
Where's the best place for content on the world of Ice and Fire?
Right over there. See where I am pointing with my dagger? I just found
Sporking News Podcast. With me, Sporking. Make sure you like and subscribe.
Gary is not here. Gary is not here.
But stick around because he might show up.
We are starting, and it is actually a Spork of Ice and Fire. Everybody, welcome. It's Tuesday night where we talk a song of ice and fire here on Sporking News Podcast. I am Scott. With me right now is Mr. Grant Gregory. How are you, sir?
Doing good, mate. Happy to be here and talk about the Karen of the North, I think.
Yeah, amen.
Refer to her as. So,
Yes, she is.
yeah, no, should be good.
Yep.
Yeah, a lot of
Warden
exciting
of the
stuff happening in
Karens
the world
didn't
at the
sound
moment.
right.
How many days now since the book?
Oh God. You know what, dude? That's amazing because I haven't looked in a while. So I know it's July 12th, 2011. I'll never forget that day. What happened? How long has it been? We will see right now.
I used to have a widget on my desktop that
same here.
I'd look, and then I just get depressing.
Well, that's why I stopped, because it has been yeah, it doesn't even tell me on that one. Well, it's been a really freaking long time. That's what I know. Why? Wow, this is not telling me. Usually it has it right there first thing. Well, we'll find out. Someone in the chat let us know. Is it now 13?
So 14 years.
Almost 14 years. Almost 14
Gotta
years.
Be.
Wow.
Got to be 14.
That's why we know the books are coming out this year. A book. And maybe the next one will come out the year after. Because we all know. Right?
Well, at least if you're not gonna give us Winter, at least give us Blood and Fire Part 2.
Well, Death in the Family. Is that a joke or is that true? Because if it is, that's horrible. Yeah, 14 years. Yeah, if you're gonna give us, wait a minute, say that one more time. I'm sorry, I saw that in the chat. It kind of threw me.
Well, if you're not gonna give us Winter, at least give us Fire and Blood Part 2.
Yeah, finish that. Or Duncan Egg. I want the She-Wolves of Winterfell. I totally want them.
I want to know if Dunk's foot actually saved everyone at Harrenhal.
Yeah. Well, that's why they focus so much on his foot in the first book, because it is his foot that saves, I think, Rhaegar, or, well, his mother and father. And I think that's who he saves. Yep. Because she captured Tyrion, Jaime captured Ned, Littlefinger convinced. Oh, we're going to go over it all, guys. I hope everything's all right with Gary and his family. I'm sorry that there was an emergency death. Wow. I hate it. Always sucks when someone passes away. I hope it's not his mom or something. Anyways, let's get to it though. So we're talking Catelyn Stark, and why does she suck so bad? And I was looking through Game of Thrones, which really, you can go past Game of Thrones with her and she messes up a lot. But Game of Thrones, literally, chapter 2 tells you everything you need to know about her. Everything you need to know about her. She is horrible. What's up, Kirsty? And we got Brian. Let me say hi to the chat. Kirsty, Brian. We have Sonny Frank, listless receptionist. Gap After Dark is here. Thank you for always showing up, guys. And the lovely Jane Theory was here a little earlier, and she'll probably be back. Guys, share out that the link is live. We're streaming because a lot of actually guys from work told me yesterday that they'll get a notification after the stream's over or the next day that we're streaming. So please make sure you guys
I get an email notification the moment we finish streaming.
Isn't that nuts?
Yeah.
That's so weird. So I'm going to make a post about this one just so that might be the way to do it. And make sure you like and definitely share, please. So yeah, we're going to be talking about Karen. What are your feelings on Karen? Karen, Catelyn of the North. What do you think about her?
I feel like no one blames her for everything when they clearly should. If she just fucking listened to her husband and did what he asked, everyone would still be alive.
Yep. I mean, 100%. We're in a medieval culture. He is the Lord of the North, which is the biggest landmass. And like the rest of the 7 kingdoms can fit inside the North. He has the biggest landmass on the continent that belongs to the Westeros. And
he's basically Russia.
He's Canada with balls. You know what I mean? Cat was Queen Karen. Yeah, she's beyond. She's like Empress Karen. Why does she suck so bad? She learned on a guy named Littlefinger. No, her father's a chump too. Scott, no live chat on YouTube today. What? I see it right now. What are you talking about, buddy?
Hi, Jane.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
If there was no live chat, how did you message it in the live chat?
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know. But it is live, so hopefully so yeah. Anyways, there's like these new things on YouTube. I should have looked at this earlier. Like you could set a goal for super chats, which, I don't know. Get inspired with an example, it says. I'll play rhythm games.
Get inspired.
Community game night. Get 1 extra hour of live streaming. When we reach the goal, I'll do stream where we explore more indie games. Now what I'll do is I'll do an extra stream. There we go. Sorry, guys. So I'm gonna read. Okay. I'm reading Cat 2 because Cat 2 tells you everything. It's ridiculous, dude.
You didn't tell me you're going to be reading Cunt Part 2.
Yeah. That's I like to keep you guessing, buddy. I like to keep you
also
guessing.
Lister's receptionist is correct.
What's that?
Apart from maybe Blackfish, Tullys are lame.
Yeah, Tully.
But
yeah.
The thing of it is, Blackfish
He's the
is
only
just
one.
that awesome. Like we never got how cool he was in the TV series.
Yeah, they did him
We
wrong.
got he was a
in the
rugged
TV
old
series.
bitter man, but he wasn't like you can put a handful of people in an arena and say that they could verse anyone and they'd come out alive. Blackfish was one of those guys.
Yeah.
If you're going to say, all right, pick any fighter on the planet, and I've got Blackfish, 9 out of 10 times I'm winning. 99 out of 100 times.
Yeah, any living guy right now. Yeah, I would say that.
Obviously, easy to kill a dead guy.
Yeah, he's a tough old bastard though, man. He is old. He's probably like maybe 50 something, you know what I mean? Like Kat is like what, in her early 20s? Ned is maybe in his late 20s, or maybe closer to 30. They're like in their late 20s, early 30s, because I want to think Littlefinger's about 30. So and I think she was a year or two older than him. He premiered his stream on top of my show. What a dick.
Sorry, Scotty. I'll be back in like 10 minutes, mate.
Don't worry about it, man.
Yep.
All right. So I'm going to try to keep an eye on the chat. What's up, Pope? Dude, I didn't learn. I didn't. You will see that I didn't learn to read. But I'm going to go through it. I'll stop every once in a while where I have some points. Please keep talking in the chat. I will try my best to keep up on that while I'm by myself. But here we go. Oh God, that jumped a lot. I gotta be prepared on that one. Here we go. Of all the rooms in Winterfell's great keep, Catelyn's bedchambers were the hottest. She seldom had to light a fire. The castle had been built over natural hot springs. Oh, I see what happened. Oh, crap. How do I get out of this? Sorry, everybody. I had to do something there because I had it in like presentation mode, and it would jump I wouldn't be able to scroll very well. Here we go. All right. Take 2. Thank God you guys are my regulars and know what you're getting yourselves into. The castle had been built over natural hot springs, and the scalding waters rushed through its walls and chambers like blood through a man's body. You know, I always thought about that line, like, is Winterfell where winter fell? Is there something living there? You know, what is the spring? You know, are they natural springs or is it dragon, keeping it hot? We don't know. But I like how she thinks, man, like blood through a man's body, driving the chill from the stone halls, filling the glass gardens with moist warmth, keeping the earth from freezing. Open pools smoked day and night in dozen small courtyards. That was a little thing in summer. In winter, it was the difference between life and death. Yeah, the show never gave us like what Winterfell has, like, hot springs, pretty much. Like an anime fan's dreams. Like there's literally bubbling pools of warm water everywhere. I mean, in the Godswood, near the heart tree, so they're all over the place. And it literally somehow someone designed it that the water would go through the stone walls to heat it up. Like that's pretty technologically advanced. I always wondered about that myself. Oh, Pope, I love you too, man. We need to talk music again. George's characters are either in their 30s or pre-teen. Yeah, they are. Yeah, Bran's 8, maybe 7 at the beginning of this. It's crazy. Winterfell. Yeah, and it's mineral water. Yeah, good for the skin. Geothermal energy. Right. All right. So Catelyn's bath was always hot and steaming. Now, listen, I just want you guys to remember, this is POV. This is going on in her head right now. I don't know why she's talking about herself in the third person. Catelyn's bath was always hot and steaming, and her walls warm to the touch. The warmth reminded her of Riverrun, of days in the sun with Liza and Edmure. But Ned could never abide the heat. The Starks were made for the cold, he would tell her, and she would laugh and tell him in that case they had certainly built their castle in the wrong place. So when he finished, Ned rolled off and climbed from her bed, as he had thousands of times before. He crossed the room, pulled back the heavy tapestries, and threw open the high, narrow windows one by one, letting the night air into the chamber. So, husband and wife, carnal passions. She wasn't even thinking about that. Oh, she's thinking about her brother, her sister, the walls of Winterfell. Like, she is not into it. Now, she does say thousands of times before, but even doing her, duty in this world, she's somewhere else. She's not into it. She don't care. And that was one thing I picked up rereading this. Like, literally, he rolls off and she's like, "Oh yeah, you were there. Sorry, I was off dancing with Edmure and Liza." It's crazy, right? Cat is one of those, third person talkers. Sporking agrees. What a sweatbox. I'm with Ned. Same here. Tommy and the Guinea Pig Collective. Follow that man's YouTube channel, please. Good dude. Huge, bigly dude. Cat is thinking of Littlefinger. Nah, dude, you got that all wrong. Cat's all about herself and then her children. She's one. Her and Cersei are so much alike, yet Cersei she's more outspoken and true to her nature in a way, like what she perceives herself to be. Yet Cat is almost as bad, gets way more people killed, and everybody's like, yeah, she sucks, or people defend the hell out of her. I don't get it. Yeah, so that was one thing I noticed. So the wind swirled around him as he stood facing the dark, naked and empty-handed. Catelyn pulled the furs to her chin and watched him. He looked somehow smaller and more vulnerable. That's what a guy wants to hear. Like the youth she had wed in the sept at River Run. 15 long years gone. Her loins still ached from the urgency of his lovemaking. Now that's him, not her. Like, she's not like, oh, that was great. She's like, oh God, that hurt. It was a good ache. Sure it was. She could feel his seed within her. She prayed that it might quicken there. It had been 3 years since Rickon. She was not too old. She could give him another son. I will refuse him, Ned said as he turned back to her. His eyes were haunted, his voice thick with doubt. Now, to bring you guys up to speed, if you're new here or haven't read it in a long time, we're in the north at Winterfell. A message comes to Winterfell that the hand of the king, Jon Arryn, who fostered, pretty much raised Ned from the age of like 8. I think he was 8. Yeah, Bran was 7. So from the age of 8 till adulthood, pretty much Robert's rebellion. So like he's probably around 18, 19. With the king, they were fostered together, became like brothers. He gets a message from the king saying that Jon Arryn had passed away and he's coming north. So Ned already knows what he's going to want. Jon Arryn was like a father to both Robert and Ned. Well, Robert's more of a brother to, or excuse me, Ned is more of a brother to Robert than his own brother. So he's coming to ask him to be hand of the king. And that's what they're talking about here. I will refuse him, Ned said, as he turned back to her. His eyes were haunted, his voice thick with doubt. Catelyn sat up in the bed. You cannot. You must not. My duties are here in the north. I have no wish to be Robert's hand. He will not understand that. He is a king now, and kings are not like other men. If you refuse to serve him, he will wonder why, and sooner or later, he will begin to suspect that you oppose him. Can't you see the danger that would put us in? Ned shook his head, refusing to believe. Robert would never harm me or any of mine. We were closer than brothers. He loves me. If I refuse him, he'll roar and curse and bluster, and in a week, we will laugh about it together. I know the man. You knew the man, she said. The king is a stranger to you. Catelyn remembered the direwolf dead in the snow, the broken antler lodged deep in her throat. She had to make him see. Pride is everything to a king, my lord. Robert came all this way to see you, to bring you these great honors. You cannot throw them back in his face. Honors? Ned laughed bitterly. In his eyes, yes, she said. And in yours? And in mine. She blazed angry now. Why couldn't he see? He offers his own son in marriage to our daughter. What else would you call that? Sansa might someday be queen. Her sons could rule from the wall to the mountains of Dorne. What is so wrong with that? Gods, Catelyn, Sansa's only 11, Ned said. And Joffrey is, she finished for him, crown prince and heir to the Iron Throne. And I was only 12 when my father promised me to your brother Brandon. That brought a bitter twist to Ned's mouth. Brandon, yes. Brandon would know what to do. He always did. It was all meant for Brandon. You, Winterfell, everything. He was born to be the king's hand and father to queens. I never asked for cup to pass me. Okay.
Pretty, I'm back.
Yep.
I just had to be a witness to a wedding.
No,
virtually.
that's awesome, dude. Hold on 1 second. We'll talk about it. No, that's awesome. That's awesome. Congratulations to the bride and groom. Ned turned away from her, back to the night. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah. Perhaps not. Wait a minute. I never asked for this cup to pass to me. Perhaps not, Catelyn said. But Brandon is dead, and the cup has passed, and you must drink from it, like it or not. she's such a nagger. So we're gonna start here. I said nagger. We're gonna start here. So what
I
you
mean,
missed
you might have
was
said Naga, but you did go hard R at the end. So
what you missed is I read the beginning where she's thinking about the walls of Winterfell and the pools and her brother and sister when they used to play at River Run. And yeah, her husband rolls off of her, as he finishes. She's not even in the act. She's thinking about all these different things. So that's the first. She sucks.
well, I mean that makes sense when you're having sex with your significant other. You should usually think about children
Yeah.
and your cousins.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Kat is pissed Ned came home. She definitely wants him dead, I think. But I don't think she wants Littlefinger. So she talks about that stuff. He rolls off, and then they start talking about, I'm going to refuse him. And he pushes so hard for him to go to King's Landing and be the hand of the king. Like, he's like, look, he's my brother. Like, we are closer than brothers. He might get upset, but he's going to let it go. And she's just keeps putting doubt into his head. Like, some people would say, oh, she's just giving counsel, but she's putting doubt. Like, he would end up killing or going to war with them because he refused the handship. Like, why would you go that far? Like, he would not go to war with Ned. He might be pissed to not talk to him for 10 years, but he wouldn't go to war with Ned Stark. That's ridiculous. He got them that crown. Ned Stark saved him when he was about to be killed in the Battle of the Bells. His sister was the so-called love of Robert's life. Like, come on, man.
Stop
It's
Jaime
ridiculous.
Lannister from sitting on the throne.
Hey, what's Gucci? My ninjas premiering during my stream. What's up, man? Anyways,
He's finished it. It's a mad raid.
that is a mad raid. Thanks, bro. Trying to crowd Jon out with her womb. Yeah, in a way. She's so horrible. I can't stand her either. I thought you liked her for some reason, Jane. I couldn't remember. I get her point that he can't really blame the king as much for no, and I get that. But she goes like, you can't refuse a king. Like, what are you thinking? But she tries to put doubt in his head that he'll go to war, put them in danger. Like, this is a man he helped to get that crown, that loved his sister, that romanticizes Lyanna Stark. I mean, the minute he gets to Winterfell, he wants to go straight to the crypt. That's it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because of his I'm gonna say his obsession with his sister. That's probably most of the reason why he considers Ned a brother. Even without all the other stuff, that alone makes them kin.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and she keeps going to it. And this is why I believe she wanted him to go. Like, there's something she like. I kind of, no one's this dumb to put her own family in danger. Like, she tries to blame the antler in the direwolf's throat, where they found the direwolf, and that's where they found the puppies, and the antler was in the throat. Like, come on.
See, to me, that was more a reason not to go.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, the war thing was pure fantasy. I mean, they were always close. They grew up together, 100%.
They were raised by the same stepfather, I guess.
Well, you call him the ward. Their warden, who
is a warden the correct terminology? I can't remember how he.
Yeah, because they were his
both
wards.
Yeah.
So and he was the warden of the East, I believe. So or the warden of the mountain, something like that, wasn't he? He's a warden, right?
I don't.
Yeah, because there's north. Yeah, there has to be east, west, and there's like I think there's more. There's four, right? At least four.
But what has he got to do with the east?
They're in the east. The mountains, they're right here. They're over here on the east coast. Because isn't Castle Rock's over here, and he's the warden of the west, right?
I guess I just didn't think it was.
What's Gucci, my ninjas? I'm just a YouTuber, bro. What's going on?
Oh, sorry, my audio crashed for some reason. Hey, how's it going?
Hey.
Yeah, okay, so his title was Warden of the East. I don't know why I thought that wasn't him.
Yep.
I would have been here sooner, but I forgot to change the date on the premiere
That's
of
so
episode
funny.
1 of Mad Pap.
Mad
And
Pap.
I woke up as it was premiering. I was like, oh,
You woke up when it was premiering.
yep.
That's perfect. That
Jane
sounds about
seemed
right.
to enjoy it.
Dude, Jane was shouting praise for you before. I was like, what are you doing? He's paying
We're
you?
doing another one tonight after this at 9:15 Central.
Nice.
We're gonna be talking about Dr. Bob Lilly.
I
Oh,
know that
nice.
name. Why do I know that name?
Oh, because he was the guy that was trying to teach dolphins English so that we could talk to aliens.
Oh yeah. Wasn't he having people like the dolphins? No? Okay.
Jane,
And
I was shocked throughout the premiere.
so we're talking about Catelyn Stark and why she sucks. And we're talking book Catelyn. Sucks even
Of
worse than
course,
show
yeah.
Catelyn.
It's the worst part of the books. The
Yeah.
whole ghost
Yeah,
Catelyn thing.
No,
It's
that's
so
the
dumb.
best. That's when she becomes the best. She's
So
not a
dumb.
ghost. She's a fireway. And it's not dumb. It's actually friggin' awesome because she's psychotic. But she's already psychotic.
It's a different Bob Lilly, Grant. There was a
Okay.
Bob Lilly that played for the Dallas Cowboys. Different guy.
That's what I thought
different guy.
That's what I thought you were doing. I thought, okay, well that makes sense why you picked that player.
So
Yeah. If on this side, Bob Lilly, the Dallas Cowboy, was also into giving Dolphins LSD or something like that. You have to wait and find out.
Yeah, except it
See?
was just Miami Dolphins that he was giving it to.
Yeah.
and the mascot. That's crazy. But we were talking back to this. I'm trying to keep it focused. Back to the show.
Oh, why did you invite me?
I know. I don't know what I was thinking. Because I like talking to you. So she's trying to tell him he has to go to become the hand. She like
Yeah,
even
she's-
gets angry
She's totally
with him
gaslighting
right here.
him. She's
Yeah,
like, you don't want to lose
he-
your head, do you? You have to go.
I mean, literally like telling him that his best friend would kill their family. And then when he's still not falling for it, where he and I like where he's saying
what
Ned
would the
said,
point of that war be? Okay, let's just say Robert wins the war. Does he then force him to be the hand?
yeah, I don't that's what I'm saying too. Like there is no thought process that makes it like something that's smart. Like, first of all, he wouldn't be able to get through Kate Mullen. Kate, what's the freaking in the moat? The one where 200 archers can hold off an army. Kate Molten. I can never say it. Damn it! Help me here.
No, you're
Who,
doing
me?
good.
You're being a dick. No, not you, buddy. He knows what I'm trying to say. Jane, help me. Why does he?
Catelyn?
No, not Catelyn. It's
Oh, I thought you were talking about Moat Catelyn.
Moat Catelyn. Why would I was saying Kate Mullen. All right. Moat.
That's what I was saying. That's what I thought. That's what I was like. Okay, you're obviously
I
talking
can't
about
talk.
this one.
Yeah, I
Kate
can't
Molan.
talk.
Remember the actress?
You know
Kate
her.
Molan? Yeah.
Oh, what a bitch. What a bitch. So, he knows that there's no way this war is going to happen. So what does she do? She turns the dagger a little bit where she's like, well, our daughter might become the queen. He's like, God, Caitlin, Sansa's only 11. Ned said, and Joffrey, ... Joffrey is, and he's probably going to imply psychopath, but she's like, she finished crown prince and heir to the throne. And just to freaking really get him where it hurts. And I was only 12 when my father promised me to your brother, Brandon. And she knows that's a sore subject. She's like, let me get him with that one, let me weaken his
This is the
defenses.
thing you got to understand about women. They have a memory.
Oh,
And they like to
okay.
bring
Or
things
do
up.
they?
So, yeah.
That sucks. Moment of silence for memories. Because I don't. I forget everything.
Same.
I never used to. And then I hit 40 and now I can't remember what it was like to be 39.
Amen, man. I don't remember shit. Cat is ignorant. Ugh, Starks die in the South. Yes. I mean, we all know that. She doesn't.
If there are Starks in the South, they're going to die in the South. That's just how life works.
Yeah, right. But like, why would you force your family and let your husband unless you want him to die?
Then why say take my daughter down there then? Take both of them.
No, she knew that was part of the deal. take the girls, but leave me Bran. We'll get there. Hold on. All right. So that brought a twist to his mouth. Yeah, I'm Brandon this, Brandon that. Perhaps not, Catelyn said, but Brandon is dead and the cup has passed, and you must drink from it, like it or not. Like what cup? Like nightshade? Mm-hmm. Some type of poison, maybe. Ned turned away from her, back to the night. He stood staring out in the darkness, watching the moon and the stars, perhaps the sentries on the wall. Catelyn softened then to see his pain. Eddard Stark had married her in Brandon's place as a custom decreed, but the shadow of his dead brother still lay between them, as did the shadow of the woman he would not name, the woman who had borne him his bastard son. She was about to go to him when the knock came at the door, loud and unexpected. What? Anyways, Ned turned frowning. What is it? All right. That wording right there, we know now, maybe because it's the first book, he might have slipped up, but we know. Oh, Johnny, thanks, man. All right. I choose you over hockey tonight, Sporking. Make it good. Thanks, man. Girls need their mom. What happened to that? When you live in a culture of breed me more boys, because maybe like 1 out of the 3 might live to adulthood. Girls are kind of just pawns. I don't know. And we never really hear Catelyn talk about her mom as much as her dad. So like the mom-daughter thing isn't there.
Maybe the mother left before she was born.
Oh yeah, she left them, didn't she? I don't know it before she was born. I just got that.
There you go. Penny dropped.
Yeah, don't worry. I'm slow. But we know George R. R. Martin picks his words very carefully, and almost every word means something. So why would he say, wouldn't it be common to say she was about to go to him when a knock came at the door, not the knock? Like that almost sounds like the knock she was waiting for. Even though it was loud and unexpected, maybe she expected it later.
Or it's a knock that's going to be brought back up in the past when Bran, travels through time or walks or something or other. It'll be him knocking.
There was like a weirwood splinter in the door.
Yeah.
All right. I just always found that funny when I read it. The knock instead of a knock.
I mean, there's weirwoods in Winterfell.
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
That makes sense.
Not in Winterfell, but there's
I mean, it could be
in the area, not in the castle grounds, but yeah.
Go
you
ahead,
never
man.
know. Like the knock, it could be anybody. It could be the Mormons from the Game of Thrones equivalent to the Latter-day Saints. Who knows?
You never know. You don't open that door.
They almost have Hare Krishnas in Game of Thrones. They got very similar to them, so maybe.
What, the warlocks or the R'hllor?
R'hllor.
Yeah, I could see that. They are kind of Hare Krishna-ish.
So the monks do look more like Hare Krishnas. So yeah,
you got a point, man. So
could be Walter White. He's the one that knocks. So
yeah. So we move on. Desmond's voice came through the door. My lord, Maester Luwin is without and begs urgent audience. You told him I had left orders not to be disturbed. Yes, my lord, he insists. Very well, send him in. Ned crossed to the wardrobe and slipped on a heavy robe. Catelyn realized suddenly how cold it had become. She sat up in bed and pulled the furs to her chin. Perhaps we should close the window, she suggested. Ned nodded absently. Maester Luwin was shown in. All right, so they talk about Maester Luwin, about hiding things up his sleeves, always have stuff.
That's weird. I didn't think someone whose heart was that cold would actually get cold from a wind.
Right. It's pretty impressive,
Some might even say she has a stone heart.
Oh shit. See what he did there, everybody? See? Lovely Sherry. Did you get that? It was pretty funny. Hi, buddy.
Sherry.
Northerners were known for their gray eyes. Very pretty. Yeah, they were. And Maester Luwin has gray eyes. Now, we don't know where he's from, but he has gray eyes. So he might be from the north, but he spent most of his time in River Run. came with Cat to Winterfell and was there for every major birth, everything with her. Like he's known her for so long. And the Maesters you can't trust. I don't care who they are. But I think Maester Lewin is more devoted to the Tully side of her, like her and her children, than Ned Stark and Winterfell. So he's in on it. The Maester waited until the door had closed behind him before he spoke. My lord, he said to Ned, pardon for disturbing your rest. I have been left a message. Ned looked irritated. Been left by whom? Has there been a rider? I was not told. There was no rider, my lord, only a carved wooden box left on a table in my observatory while I napped. My servants saw no one, but it must have been brought by someone in the king's party. We have had no other visitors from the south. A wooden box, you say, Catelyn said. Inside was a fine new lens for the observatory. From Myr, by the look of it, the lens crafters of Myr are without equal. Ned frowned. He had little patience for this sort of thing. Catelyn knew. A lens, he said. What has that to do with me? I asked the same question, Maester Lewin said. Clearly, there was more to this than the seeming. Under the heavy weight of her furs, Catelyn shivered.
Hey.
A lens.
Why didn't we have you read the freaking Hugh Glass story?
I should have.
Well, no, because
I stutter like a son of a bitch. Hugh Glass, that freaking story. Make sure you share that link in the chat. People need to watch that.
It was funny. It was good.
That was a good time. Jerk. Under the heavy weight of a lens in an instrument to help us see. Or Catelyn shivered. A lens is an instrument to help us see. Indeed it is. He fingered the collar of his order, a heavy chain worn tight around his neck beneath his robes. Each link forged from a different metal. Catelyn could feel dread stirring inside her all once again. What is it that you would have us see more clearly? It's almost like they staged this. The very thing I asked myself. Maester Lewin drew a tightly rolled paper out of his sleeve. I found the true message concealed within a false bottom. When I dismantled the box the lens has come in, but it is not for my eyes. Ned held out his hand. Let me have it then. Lewin did not stir. Pardons, my lord. The message is not for you either. It is marked for the eyes of Lady Catelyn and her alone. May I approach? So, like, it just sounds so stupid. He comes to their room with a box that he doesn't know where it came from, and it had a lens in it. And you have Cat like say, a lens is an instrument to help us see. And he's like, indeed it is. And this gift is a precious thing from Myr. But instead of just seeing it as that and being like, who the hell sent this? He destroys the box because, oh, there's a hidden false bottom to it with a note. Like, what happens if he just threw out the box? Just, you know what I mean? Like, he had to know it was in there. That's what I think.
Yes.
Thank you. What's up, Teresa? Great channel, guys. Friend of the channel, panelist on our show here for Spork of Ice and Fire. So make sure you check her out. Yeah, see? Totally staged. She's such a rat. Mm-hmm. Amen.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. That came off wrong. You're a jerk. Security at Winterfell is lax. Yeah, it is. Lewin has a lot of time on his hands, clearly, right? Like, shouldn't you be teaching the kids something? So I'll jump ahead a little bit. He gave her the paper. She looks at it. It has the mark of, the blue wax of the errands.
But is that really enough to interrupt coitus or post-coitus?
No, it could have waited. First of all, it's dude, who looks at a nice wooden box, takes out an expensive lens? I mean, glass is, maybe something they make like pretty rudimentary in the windows and stuff, but like a lens is like the craftsmen from Myr are known for it. So that shit was not cheap. And he decides that can't be just the gift. I'm going to take apart this box and oops, here I found this special letter just for you, Cat. suspicious.
And also, there's no way in the world that Ned's going to go, no, I'm not going to, no, give it to me. I'm the Lord here. No fucking secrets under my household.
Right.
It's just like, it's just
absolutely.
like, you're trying to get me to leave, and then all of a sudden, some mysterious person sending you gifts.
Mm-hmm.
Is it Littlefinger?
Right. Like, and that's another thing. Like, okay, like he might have been involved. Wouldn't you think? I don't know. I would just find it shady if I was her, but she doesn't. Catelyn broke the seal. Her eyes moved over the words. At first, they made no sense to her. Then she remembered. Lysa took no chances. When we were girls together, we had a private language. She and I. Can you read it? Yes. So if it was a private language, why did she go through the trouble of putting it in a false bottom where maybe no one would have found it?
Oh, because
reasons. I asked the chat, does that sound fishy? I think it sounds fishy. I mean, it's a box with a beautiful, expensive lens in it. Yay. And then you take the box apart. If he didn't do that, no one would have ever seen that letter. Ever. And so Kat says she can. Then tell us. Perhaps I should withdraw.
It would have made sense if he said that in his haste to move the thing, he dropped the box broke, and then he saw something in there,
Right. But this guy just decides to take this box apart. And it's probably not a cheapo box either,
Wait. Yeah, it's one of those expensive boxes made out of vermilion.
I like my vermilion boxes.
They're red. They're beautiful. That vermilion, man. That's just dope. Check out his stream. It was great. Catelyn makes a big thing about it. We'll need your counsel, Master Loon. And she just walks naked. And, she's like, what are you doing?
She was cold a second ago.
Right. She says, lighting a fire. Catelyn told him she found a dress gown, shrugged into it, and knelt over the cold hearth. Maester Lewin, Ned began. Maester Lewin has delivered all my children because she's naked, blah, 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 heavy logs and blah, blah, blah. She slid the paper in among the kindling and placed the heavier logs on top of it. Ned crossed the room, took her by the arm, and pulled her to her feet. He held her there, had his face is inches from her. My lady, tell me, what was the message? She stiffens. A warning. If we have the wits to hear. His eyes searched her face. Go on. Lysa says Jon Arryn was murdered. His fingers tighten around her arm. By whom? The Lannisters. She told him. The Queen. Ned released his hold on her arm. There were deep red marks. Whatever. Gods, he whispers. Your sister is sick with grief.
I believe that she knew of the plan to get rid of Jon Arryn. I think she was a part of it.
Okay. That interesting.
Her sister, her sister's consort. Why is she pushing so hard for him to go down there? You have to go down there. You have to do this.
They were both married the same day.
Yeah.
Lysa definitely didn't want to marry Jon Arryn. She wanted to be with Littlefinger. Definitely she would have known. Yeah. Like if Jon Arryn died suspiciously, if I was Kat, the first person I would have thought of was, oh God, Lysa finally killed him. She had to know.
That's why I believe she was part of it.
Everything in her POV is sickening to me. Right? Alpha Kenny 1, my Mirish lens makers are specifically called out for their exceptional skills in crafting precision lenses. Thank you. So they're expensive as hell. They are. I think this is almost over. We'll jump if we need to. And then we're just going to talk about stuff. I wanted people to get like, this is Kat. She's totally just she's not even in it when they're having sex. She's
thinking of children and her cousins.
Yeah. No, brother and sister, actually. That's the better part.
Yeah.
And then she.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you missed that part. Your sister is sick with grief. She cannot know what she is saying. She knows. Lysa is impulsive, yes, but this message was carefully planned, cleverly hidden. She knew it meant death if her letter fell into the wrong hands that no one could read. To risk.
But if it was written in code.
Exactly.
What if it's written in code? She looks at it and says, well, fuck, need toff. What the hell does that mean?
Right.
They're gonna go, wait a minute, that's Eliza. She's onto us. Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck? So
It's
dumb.
so dumb. So dumb.
Who are the Game of Thrones like equivalent to the Navajo to be able to do this code talking for the
Dothraki.
letter?
You talking
Like
about
the wind-
you saying the native the wind talkers?
Yeah, the wind
Yeah.
talkers. That would be
Dothraki would be
maybe
the closest, I
yeah.
guess.
No, but he's Westeros, we're talking, right?
Oh, okay.
Maybe some people in Dorne. I don't know. But I love this part.
I wasn't
too.
expecting a real answer. I apologize.
Dude, do you know what stream you're on?
The world's-
We can
the
talk about
world's
that
big
for an
enough.
hour.
Who was the guys that saved Tyrion? Or that ransomed Tyrion, I should say?
The Men of the Mountain.
Yeah, maybe
Oh.
them.
Yeah, Mountain of the Moon or whatever. Yeah,
Like they
Yeah.
have. I don't know. Okay.
Shaga.
Shagger, father to Shagger.
Let me just finish a couple more. To risk so much, she must have had more than mere suspicion. Now we truly have no choice. All of a sudden, you must be Robert's hand. You must go south with him and learn the truth. Why? You know, like
Jane
maybe
got
just
it.
say, hey,
If she knows, go talk to her.
right. Exactly. Don't go
The-
there. Go to
Don't
go
in
to
opposite
the
fucking
Erie.
direction. Do we go to the Erie or do we go to King's Landing? The answers are at the Erie. Okay, let's go to King's Landing.
Exactly.
As one should.
And then Ned finally, the only
Children of
truth
the
I
Forest
know
would be
are
another,
here.
yeah. Didn't think of it like that.
What's that?
Children of the Forest. Jane was
Oh
suggesting as
yeah,
Navajo.
that would be it. That's a good one.
Tatanka.
Takanka.
But this is the best part. She's telling him he has to now. And then he responds, the only truths I know are here. The South is a nest of adders I would do better to avoid. Like he is just telling her over and over again, I can't go. And then Lewin jumps in. The hand of the king has great power, my lord. Power to find the truth of Lord Aaron's death, to bring his killers to the king's justice, power to protect Lady Aaron and her son, if the worst be true. Like playing on his
You
heartstrings.
stated, you
justice.
stated something earlier about how George chooses his words. He didn't
Yes.
say the word killer. He says killers.
Right. I didn't even think of that. Yeah, you're right. Killers.
And if
They-
Catelyn and her sister and everything were involved in, do you not think that's going to be their most trusted maester?
Yep. I mean, she said all that.
Who do you think delivered the poison to him?
Right. Well, a maester would know, right? He has those
Mhm.
chains.
I don't trust
And-
them.
No, they're rats. Gray rats. And
Grats.
all
Yeah.
mats. All her sister said was the queen. So now there's killers. Good point, dude.
Mm.
She then keeps pushing. She's like, Catelyn's heart went out to him, but she had to be like pretty much cruel. First, the victory must be won for her children's sake. What victory? Like getting her husband dead in the South? You say you love Robert like a brother. Would you leave your brother surrounded by Lannisters? The others take you both, Ned mutters. My father went south once to answer the summons of a king. He never came home again. A different time, Lewin said. A different king. Yes. Ned said dully. Yeah, whatever. Catelyn, you shall stay here in Winterfell. No, she says. Yes. And then they go over, you have to, help Rob govern. He's only 14.
Good Lord, really?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Now he'll be the Lord of Winterfell when his dad is gone, because there always has to be a Stark in Winterfell. And then Maester Lewin, I trust you will you with my own blood, give my wife your counsel. They've already been counseling. Winter is coming. He nods. What of the children? She's all worried about. Rickon is very young. He should stay here with you and Rob. The others I'll take. I could not bear it. You must. Sansa must be wed. Arya must learn about, Southern Court, and maybe in a few years be wed too. But she doesn't want Bran. I mean, all through this, but not Bran. Bran's my favorite. Everything about Bran.
Ugh.
Never Bran. Yes, she said. But please, Ned, for the love you bear me, let Bran remain here in Winterfell. He's only 7. And he goes on, I was 8, and Rob and Joffrey don't get along, so maybe Bran could be like that bridge. And she got outwitted by him. He was right. You know how Bran loves to climb. Keep him off the walls. I'm gonna have him push. Ned kissed the tears from her eyes before they got there. And then, what about Jon Snow, my lord? Why did Lewin bring that up, you piece of shit? And Catelyn tensed at the mention of his name. Ned felt
See, if,
anger in
if I
her
was
full
if I
well.
was the maester, just to piss her off, I'd be like, "What about your stepson?"
Yeah,
Just,
right. But he's on her side.
What about
Yeah.
the bastard?
Yeah, what about that bastard,
Hey,
dude?
what about the kid that your husband had with a whore?
Yep.
Yeah, what was it?
Yep.
What was her name again?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. She was planning on him having bastards, but they never bring him home.
Was she as insufferable and like cruel to John in the book as she was in the show?
She was more cruel to him
Worse.
in the book. And we're
That
going to
makes
get to that.
no sense. The kid did nothing to you.
Yep. Oh, wait, dude. Wait till how she talks to him. And we're going to get to there. We'll skip all this. This is just a recap of Arthur Dane and Ashara Dane and her hearing and Ned getting pissed. And the only time she ever saw him really angry. Blah, blah, blah. And she goes about John. She gets back to John. John must go. He and Robert close. I had hoped he cannot stay here. He is your son, not mine. I will not have him. He's been around for 14 years. He's 15. He's been around for 14 years, though, with her. And she still can't stand the kid.
Let me ask this because I haven't read it. Is he a dick though? Does he deserve the hate?
Not at all.
No.
Not even a little.
He's very unlike the show. He's a very intelligent young kid.
Yep. Yep. Quiet.
Yeah. Very quiet. Does all the
he-
work when people, when people shit on him, that stuff. He doesn't bother him. He just lets shit slide.
Yep.
He's just happy to be there.
Yeah, and this whole part is Lewin and her pushing John going to the wall. And the maester's like, well, when should I tell John he's leaving? When I must, all this bullshit. Summer will end soon enough, and childhood as well. When the time comes, I will tell him myself.
See that she foreshadowed the death of the dog.
Yeah, right.
Summer will end soon.
Yeah. So right there, you see she sucks. I mean, she really sucks. Everything about her. And she just keeps getting worse. We won't read as much now. We'll just talk. But there are a couple points I definitely want to get to. Like John, I think it's page 90. So John chapter whatever, because this one doesn't tell you the chapter number usually. But this is John. Okay, so we just Ned left with the girls. Bran fell before that. Somehow she prayed. We'll find out about that here. But John, Bran fell, broke, he's in a coma, may not make it. She gives up on everybody else and only sits by his bed. Little Rickon running around, needing his mommy. Nope. I am sitting by my kid's bed. I get that. But, you do have other kids. She didn't even see her daughters and Ned off. She just sat by her comatose son the whole time.
Because it was the one thing she hadn't had planned for. Everything else she planned for.
Yep.
Like I said, it's like, yeah, he's your son, and not mine. You're just like, yeah, this is my castle.
Yep. I do like this, Kirsty. John almost dying as a baby and Cat praying, promising to love him if he lives. Then he does, and she doesn't fall through. To me, play into a pact with the devil, and the price was her next born son. Promised prince.
Did that happened in the book as well? The whole John was gonna die as a baby?
Yep. Wait a minute.
I don't remember that.
Because that felt like the
I
show
thought that might
trying
just
to
be a show part where she's like explaining to somebody on the road about it.
right, trying to lessen how big of a cunt she was to him.
Right. But it makes her even look worse. That's the best part. Yeah, literally 3. Aw, Jane. Oh, look who became a sponsor because of the beautiful Jane Theory's gift of a membership, Slender Dad. She paid for you, buddy. She paid for you. Thank you for watching. I love how like it pops up somebody that's not in the chat. It's awesome to see. Thank you for watching.
I will get them sometimes when I'm not even watching it, like watching
Really?
the channel. Yeah.
Huh.
I'll get an
That's
email
weird.
alert that I'm a member of some channel that I'm not even active. Like I'm not even on YouTube.
Huh. I didn't know that happened. So we get back to Jon's chapter real quick. He's in Bran's in the coma. Lady Stark was beside his bed. She had been there day and night for close on a fortnight. What is that? 14 days? 2 weeks for fortnight?
As weeks. Yeah, I can't remember, man.
It's a couple weeks.
At
Definitely.
least.
It's 2. A fortnight is 2 weeks.
Yeah, 14 days. Okay. So she hasn't left his room for 14 days. She had her meals brought to her there, a chamber pot as well, a small hard bed.
Oh, that must stink in that room.
Nasty. Though it was said she barely slept. She fed him herself the honey and water and herbs mixed that sustained his life. Not once did she leave the room, so Jon had stayed away. But Jon's getting ready to leave to be a brother in the Night's Watch, maybe never seeing his brother again, never coming back to Winterfell again. But now there was no more time. He stood in the door for a moment, afraid to speak, afraid to come closer.
God, what a cunt.
Right? He heard Ghost. The window was open below. A wolf howled. Ghost heard and lifted his head. Lady Stark looks over for a moment. She didn't recognize him. And then finally she blinks and she goes, "What are you doing here?" She said in a voice strangely flat and emotional. "I came to see Bran, to say goodbye." Her face did not change. Her long auburn hair was dull, blah, blah, blah. She looked at him and said, you've said it. Now you go away.
Jesus.
Yep. But now this is in his mind. Part of him wanted only to flee, but he knew that if he might never see Bran again. He took a nervous step in the room. "Please," he said. Something cold moved in her eyes. "I told you to leave. We don't want you here." Who is we?
Who is we? Yeah.
Like, I'm almost starting to think she's the three-eyed raven, or she has some entanglement with the great other. She's evil. She's evil. Now this is again in Jon's head. Once that would have sent him running. Once that might even had made him cry. Now it only made him angry. He would be a sworn brother of the Night's Watch soon, and he faced worse dangers than Catelyn Tully Stark. "He's my brother," he said. "Shall I call the guards?" She goes, "Call them," Jon said, defiant. "You can't stop me from seeing him." He crossed the room, keeping the bed between them, and looked down at Bran. Like, so she literally, I mean, he is terrified of this woman. Like, how horrible have you been? Where it would have sent him crying. Usually in the past, he would have either, freaked out and ran, probably would have cried. Like, how many times has she done that to him?
Right?
Because he literally says, once that would have.
At least 7 times, I reckon.
Yeah. Once that would have sent him running. Once that might even had made him cry. So that definitely happened before.
And I bet she gets some type of satisfaction out of making him like that. You know what I mean? As punishment to Jon. I mean to the dad.
Say it again. Wait a minute. Say
well, like to her husband, right? This is kind of her getting back by treating the supposed bastard son of him, No,
100%, man.
It's just and I hate doing this because y'all know me, but I'm just going to defend women a little bit right here. This feels so antithetical to like what I think of a woman, as being nurturing and caring, even to children. Just like in this situation, that there's just this innate, natural instinct for them to want to mother a child, especially one that has so much against them already,
right?
For being a bastard,
right? She's taking everything out on him. So like in that chapter, the chapter 2 we were reading, there's a whole section about her hearing. It may have been a Sharadane. So she brings up the name, to is Sharadane, Jon's mother. And literally she said that was the only time I was she was terrified of Ned. He just got so angry and never speak that name again. And no one in the castle whispered.
You know what he should have said? He should have said it's your sister's. And then when she gets all mad about it, just like, hey, you're with my brother.
Yep. Right. Right. Like I'm freaking sloppy seconds. Yeah. So, he goes on, holds his hand, says his goodbye. Lady Stark was watching. She had not raised a cry. Jon took that for acceptance. Outside the window, the dire wolf howled again. The wolf that Bran had. Okay, that's not what I meant. So he tells him I have to go. I want him to stay here with me, Lady Stark said softly. Jon watched her, wary. She was not even looking at him. She was talking to him, but for a part of her, it was though he were not even in the room, of course. She talks about how she prayed that he wouldn't go with Ned and how the gods sometimes answer your prayers by, dropping your kid out of a window. She was a terrible mother to her own children. Yeah. Like she's been there 14 days. She has a 3-year-old and a son who now
is a terrible wife.
Yeah.
And a terrible sister.
She's horrible.
And a terrible daughter.
Yes. She's just terrible. A terrible diplomat. We could talk about that in a minute.
A terrible listener as well.
Yeah. So she's all like telling him about how she prayed, and sometimes prayers are answered in a horrible way. So Jon, just says it wasn't your fault. It was, there was an awkward silence. She turns to him, full of poison. I need none of your absolution, bastard.
What the fuck?
Dude,
him, as scared as he is, and as frightened as he is of this woman, still in this moment tries to offer some sense of comfort or reassurance, and she's like, fuck off, you bastard. What a horrible person.
Oh, wait. It gets better on this next one. So he says his goodbye. He was at the door when she called out to him. Jon, she said. He should have kept going, but she had never called him by his name before. 14 years. He turned to find her looking at his face as if she were seeing it for the first time. Yes, he said. It should have been you.
Yeah.
She told him.
Damn.
It should have been you. She's so terrible. She is horrible. And Rob knew something was up. He's like, my mother. And he was like, no, she was very kind. And Rob believed him. Come on. Horrible.
Yeah, Rob's the smart one. Rob's the one that's supposed to rule. Righto.
Yeah. Terrible. She hates that Jon looks like more like Ned than her own children. Like she just can't stand the kid, but like never called his name in 14 years of living together. Like Jon, oh my God, yes. I wish it was you that fell off and died.
Just like, no, I know how to climb, you fucking idiot.
Yeah. I would, but honestly, in this moment, I kind of do too.
Yeah. Back in the early seasons, all the TV writers did was add to what already existed. There was less room to F it up. So you had things, chaos is a ladder and the Cat Jon stuff. Yeah. They barely.
Chaos is a ladder.
Is their add-on. Yeah, it's their add-on. Yeah, she was a dick to him. I mean, she was terrible. So yeah, that's just the beginning. So there, another scene she's in with him. I'm guessing this is kind of cruel shit that stays with you for life. Thanks, Kat. Exactly. But she's there even more.
She's so bitter of a person that even when she dies, she's like, no, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it.
Yeah. Not doing it. No. I'm gonna go up north. I'm gonna see your manager.
Oh yeah.
Does she ever find out that Jon Snow isn't a bastard?
Well, we haven't found out.
Well, we don't even know.
No, we know. We saw it. It was
No, I mean
season
on the
4.
show. The show might have said something, but we don't know in the pages. So she dies before that, anyways, and it's Lady Stoneheart. Oh,
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like even
yeah. He doesn't find out, at least not yet. Jane Theory for $2. Thank you, Jane. Ned should never have let her treat him that way.
no.
It's terrible, dude. Like,
Yeah, I was wondering that too. I mean, where was he? Did he not see how she was treating him?
He's just
And
like, oh,
him,
thank God she's not angry at me.
by the way, it
oh,
doesn't do Ned any
right.
favors either because he knows that Jon's not a bastard.
Right. And he doesn't trust his wife enough to tell her.
Well, of course, but still, you need to step in there and be like, "Hey, yeah,
Yeah.
can you not
Let-
be a complete cunt?"
Let's live. You know what? I've only showed you my anger once. Let me do it one more time. Like, let me show you. You're not going to talk to my kid that way. Like, and
Yeah.
she's terrible.
How was Ned in the book to Jon?
He was a father.
Little standoffish compared
A little
to
stiff. Yeah.
yeah, very they're barely in it together. That's the thing. Like
He treated him like a bastard.
By the way, if
well, put it this way, he treated his prisoner, his ward, better than he treated his son.
okay,
Yeah, that'd be
all
awesome.
right, so if Ned knows that Jon is a Targaryen, right? And as we all know, when a Targaryen is born, the gods flip a coin. Do you think he would make a sort of effort not to be a complete dick to this kid and have him grow up to be an evil piece of shit?
Hey,
you know what I mean?
Pump the freaking brakes, okay? This kid can conjure. He could maybe get a direwolf or a dragon or both. So shut the
right.
fuck up.
Like I would be giving him Snickers, just like what Dane Cook talked about with the dude in the office. You make sure to give the crazy one Snickers. So when he comes through with a shotgun, he's like, "Thanks for the Snickers."
Thanks for the stickers.
Yeah, that's how he should be treated.
He's like, hey, Mad, because you know that's your name. You might want to take tomorrow off.
Yeah, exactly.
Wink, wink. If she did know, she would have sold Sansa off to Jon in a hot second, right? And that's another thing. Like, Ned knows he can't take him south because he'll be near Robert, and the South is no place for a bastard. They just ruin him. But he allows him to join the Night's Watch, and if it is a Targaryen Stark, union that brought him, you're literally taking away this kid's future. Like, are you never going to let him know who he is?
But at least he'll be up there with his uncle.
Yeah, he could treat, and that's what Kat said. He could treat him like the son he never had.
I mean, I feel like Ned's like, yeah, I would step in here, but God, my wife is such a cunt. I don't want to have to deal with that when I get home. It's easier if he just goes to the wall.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. He's taking the job down there means that he's never going back.
Right. Because he'll not be invited. He will not allow it.
Because the only way that he will ever go back to Winterfell is if, one, he fails his duty as King of the Hand and gets put out.
Oh, you're talking about Ned. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Ned, yeah. So even the last time that he sees Jon, he's like, yeah, I'll talk to you about it later. Wink, wink.
Yep.
I'll tell you everything next time I see you. So he goes out of his way to make sure he never sees him again, so he doesn't have to break his word.
It's crazy.
Is Jon the only decent person in this world?
Rob is decent.
Yeah, but he's dumb. We established that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's naive. And dumb. Okay, he's dumb. Great warrior though.
The dumb ones usually are.
Yeah, who else is good? I mean, Bran. Bran is
but
is
he's
a good
weird.
kid, but then he also mind rapes Hodor. So that's
okay,
cool.
well.
Yeah, that's not good.
There is. Wait a minute. There is a nice person. I'm thinking.
What is that? What is the Reach? Are the not to tell you the Reach is.
And I get also that this is a very harsh world where niceness is never
not rewarded.
Yeah, I get that, but still, though, I mean, you can still be decent and not be a victim.
Yep. Yeah, no one is. Because
mean,
if you are, you get
I would say
destroyed.
Sam, but he literally kidnaps a woman, someone's wife and child.
Yeah, sister wife. That's a little weird. Daughter wife actually.
Well, it's
So
not his
that could
daughter
be a
wife, but
rescue.
still.
That could be a rescue. It's Sam. No, I would put Sam in there. I think Sam is kinder than Jon.
I think that's because he's weaker.
Yeah,
Kindness
well,
isn't by
definitely.
choice.
Yeah. I agree with that too. So let's see. Yeah, so we got the part where the only thing she does is good. Like, granted, Rob is up in the bed chambers with her. They've been gone for a while now. It's probably a month almost, maybe 3 weeks. She's just been in that room with Bran, and Rob comes in, finally tells everybody else to leave, and like says sharply, like, Rickon needs you, I need you, like, we need you to be our mother. And she doesn't care. And a fire starts in the library, so Rob goes to check it out, and an assassin comes to kill Bran, and that's the only good thing she does because he's her favorite. And maybe it's just instinct. Maybe we
No, she
do
did it
see
for
mother.
herself.
Yeah, she jumps in
Oh,
front of him.
Podrick. Sorry, I found another one. Podrick.
Oh yeah, Podrick Payne.
Yeah,
good dude.
Yeah, Big Dick Podrick.
Yeah. Swinging boy. So yeah, and that's what happens. She takes on the assassin. And that's where things get even worse because she decides, I got to go. Someone has to go tell Ned, so it has to be me. It's like, what? Like, first of all, you're a well-known, like, people were just there in the king's party, a lot of people. So it's not like they don't know what you look like. And you're going to end up showing up in King's Landing before that party gets to King's Landing because they take a boat because her and Roderick go, and he hates sailing. So of course they take a boat because she's evil. They get there 3 days before the king's host. And what does she do? She finds Littlefinger and goes to his brothel and hides there. Yeah. And
I love that she's finding, like, okay, I need to leave this room. Like, oh, the little kids are like, yay, mommy. No, get away. I gotta go.
My son just had an attempt on his life. I was the only reason he survived. I'm going now.
And my other son, like, begged me to be the mother that their 3-year-old brother needs and counseled to me too, because I'm 14 and I'm now the Lord of the North right now. Like, literally, he is the warden of the North in a way. So what? You're just gonna bounce on him? Okay. All right, it has to be you, right? No one's gonna recognize you. And she goes to Littlefinger because they grew up together and they're buds, and he was madly in love and even almost died in a duel with Brandon Stark, but he won't harbor anything with that.
Kirsty brings up a good point.
And the secret letter from Liza with secret language, then burning in a fire that's literally casting a magic spell. Oh, damn.
What's the point? I'm not looking at the screen. Do I got to look at the screen?
So no, I'll read it. So what Kirsty Angel's saying is the letter that she got from Liza was in a secret language. Then she burned it in a fire. It's literally like casting a magic spell.
That's how they cast a lot of the magic spells over in Essos.
And I also did like like the dude who threw what's his name's penis in a fire. R'hllor, those guys, fire. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Well, no, it was his nuts as well. It was the whole thing.
Oh yeah, it was everything.
It was as it was stated, it was his cock and balls.
Cock and balls, yep. And I don't know if I said it. She didn't let anybody else look at the letter. So we have to take it by her words. It was secret language.
Then why burn it?
It was literally just from Littlefinger. All it said was send nudes.
I'm gonna.
No, it was from Littlefinger, but it said you up.
You up. Catch a ship Uber. See you in like 2 weeks. Yeah, so she gets there. She tells Littlefinger everything that happened with the letter, the cat's paw, all that stuff. She tells
Ginger.
All right, Ginger. She she just doesn't tell Littlefinger, who she's known. They knew each other as children. Again, he dueled Brandon Stark and almost got killed for her hand. So he won't harbor anything. No.
Why?
No, you know.
Was there no other woman within 300 miles of
He was
Littlefinger
banging
when they
her
were growing up?
sister. He was banging her sister, but he was in love with her.
Why?
That's why he gets his weird thing with Sansa too. And then even more, she tells Varys. Thank you, Liam. Liam N for $2 says the full gonzo. Talking about my blown up nose. I have a
Oh no, I thought he was talking about what's his name's cock. Wait, what?
Yeah, Podrix.
Yeah.
You don't have to do another super chat. Just fill us in what you mean. I always thought Baelish was a sorcerer of sorts. Well, his family was from well, no. Originally they came from Bravos.
Well, that makes
where
sense.
where the faceless men are, and the Bank of Bravos, he had connections there. So if he had connections with the bank, he most likely had connections with the faceless man. He might be a faceless man. We don't know.
Or he's Jewish.
Question is it possible Cat was killed long ago and replaced with a faceless man? I don't know. That's
no,
a
because
question.
that a
No,
faceless
because
man
she would have
wouldn't
been
be
nice
that
to
dumb.
Jon.
Yeah.
That's how he would know.
Well, it does take on the person. If you do like the actual put the person's face on, not just using makeup, you take some of their personality too and memories.
You don't become them. That's the
Yeah, but you want to like model perfectly. No,
yeah,
she's
but
just
let's say you take over someone's body and face and everything who's a pacifist who doesn't want to hurt anyone, and you got to use that person's body to be an assassin.
Mhm.
Your desire still overrides whatever they had.
Yeah. No, that's true. And she would think, oh, if I'm nice to him, maybe things will be easier here.
It would have been for everyone.
Yeah, it would have. Yep. Damn. Well, yeah, she goes to Littlefinger. Why? Because she kind of knows, but she also tells Varys everything. The two people that I think in all of Westeros you wouldn't want to tell. They are in the top 3. I can't think of anybody above them, but I'll say top 3 because maybe there's one other person I can't think of.
No, I think you're right on this one.
It's freaking shot.
Well, Varys can't keep a secret.
Oh, the full gonzo twig and berries. Gotcha now.
Oh, that makes more sense than what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we call it the Groucho because it looks like Groucho Marx.
Wait a minute, you have a mustache under it? Above the balls and under
what on the taint?
No. Like between the shaft and your balls, you would have to have a mustache.
When you're doing when you're doing a handstand, the balls act like eyes, and then the shaft is a nose. And, yeah.
Okay. I would call that more the that I forgot his name off the top. Rasputin. I would call that the Rasputin. If you have a big bush. Boy. I don't know. Anyways, yeah, so she sucks going and telling them, staying in the brothel, all that good stuff. And shows them she brings the dagger, and Littlefinger pretty much tells her, oh yeah, I lost that in a card game when Tyrion Lannister bet against his brother, and his brother won in the lists. And she believes him 100%. Tyrion's not a dumb person. And later on, Tyrion even brings it up when she does one of the dumbest things ever.
If only they knew how important that dagger was.
Yeah.
Like, it's so dumb that's the dagger that's supposed to be the one that tells you who's king.
Yeah.
Wait, how does Bran shouldn't be king because it never touched him once.
Yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
If he got stabbed with it, then there you go. He's worthy.
Well, wait, I mean, no one put it near a fire ever.
Hold on. How does it tell people who the king is supposed to be? Does it?
So in House of the Dragon,
One of the guys watched Lord of the Rings, and they liked the idea of the
ring
when you put something near a fire.
Yeah,
and
it brings up lettering. Well, now the brainiacs at House of the Dragon decided that Aegon Targaryen, the Conqueror, the first king, put the Prince's Promise. put the prophecy on the dagger that talks about the prince that was promised. And if you put fire to that same knife she has, it'll tell you the
Except for
prophecy.
when Aegon was wearing it and he got burnt by Aemon, which means surrounded by dragon fire, and then Aemon found the dagger and the dagger wasn't glowing. Apart from that.
You know what, dude? A valid freaking point. That is a valid point. I never thought of it. It's this scene right here.
Where's the best place for content on the world of Ice and Fire?
Right over there. See where I am pointing with my dagger?
There's the dagger.
I just found
Sporking News Podcast. With me, Sporking. Make sure you like and subscribe.
You're absolutely right. Fire everywhere. He went down in a ball of flames and there's nothing on that knife. I didn't even think of that. Holy crap. Dumb.
Can't
So
wait to see
dumb.
3.
So she, okay. Oh, wait a minute. And Sporking, how did Kat already know Varys when she arrived in King's Landing? How'd she come to know him whilst married to Ned? Because she didn't know him beforehand. No, not at all. Now, did they
course she
talk
did.
plainly with each other? I can't
Yep.
remember. Yeah, they do, right?
They,
Yeah, that's
felt, they
weird.
spoke as candid as each other as Ilios and Varys did. So
Mhm.
they seemed like they were old friends, old acquaintances,
That's
or
weird.
new conspirators.
They've been conspirators for years. You think about it. She wanted to marry Brandon Stark, and she ends up being forced to be married to a guy who may have already been married to a Ashara Dane in front of a heart tree. Got her pregnant, had a kid beforehand. Like, she might have known all this and plays dumb, and
That
has
would be
been
that would be the perfect irony that literally the only one of Ned's children that isn't a bastard is Jon,
right.
and the rest of them are bastards.
Yeah. There's a great channel if you guys want to hear that story. It's one of their oldest videos, the N plus D equals J. It is Order of the Green Hand. They haven't posted in like 2 years. It drives me nuts, but they were great together. It's a guy and a girl, and they have some of the best theories out there that I subscribe to. But here's one of the big ones here. So Ned believes his wife. She tells him all this stuff. So what does he say to her when he tells her, everything? She's like, okay, well, you have to go back, he tells her. So what does he say? When everybody leaves the room, Ned turns back to his wife. Once you are home, he tells her 5 things. Send word to Helman Tarlhart and Galbert Glover under my seal. They are to raise 100 bowmen each and fortify Moat Cailin. 200 determined archers can hold the neck against an army. That's thousands. Instruct Lord Manderley that he is to strengthen and repair all his defenses at White Harbor and see that they are well maintained. And from this day on, I want a careful watch kept over Theon Greyjoy. If there is war, we shall have sore need of his father's fleet. War? It will not come to that. Ned promised her, praying it was true. He took her in his arms again. The Lannisters are merciless in the face of weakness, as Aerys Targaryen learned to his sorrow, but they would not dare attack the north without all the power of the realm behind them, and that they shall not have. I must play out this fool's masquerade as if nothing is amiss. Remember why I came here, my love. If I find proof that Lannisters murdered Jon Arryn, she trembled. What then, my love? All justice flows from the king. When I know the truth, I must go to Robert and pray he listens, blah, blah, blah. So Ned is not known for his political strategies. We all know that. But Ned is one of the greatest battle commanders, if not in only Westeros, maybe even in the world. He is a fantastic commander, a great general. He wants, if there's going to be war, he needs these preparations ready for Jump Street.
Can I guess that she does all of them correctly and without any issues?
He doesn't do one of them.
Well, I mean, something happens that stops her from being able to do any of them, right?
No, she stops herself.
No, back in a second.
All right. Like, he tells her, go, you have to go straight home.
Mhm.
You know,
Where does she
like,
go instead?
well, on her way home, they stop at the inn at the crossroads. So a lot of people will stop there,
Right, yeah,
and
like in the show.
yeah, and she's there, all right, and she's thinking about before she sees anyone, she's already thinking, should I go to River Run or should I go to the Erie? Not go to Winterfell. She's first thinking about those two places. She even's like, yeah, but if I go to the Erie, I have to go through like the Mountain of the Moon where all the mountain men are, and that's real dangerous. Even John Aaron wouldn't go through there without strength, like a bunch of guys. Um, so she thinks all this stuff out, and then she's like, yeah, I should probably go home. I should probably go home. And she gets down there and she looks around and she sees like 50 of her father's bannermen. And even in her mind, she thinks, would they support, like if my father has to raise his banners, would they follow? And let's not forget, John doesn't even say, or Ned doesn't even tell her, like, make sure your father and River Run are ready too. He doesn't even worry about it's only the North he's worried about right now. That can come later, but she's thinking about that. And then she sees Tyrion. And, you know, like a sane woman, oxymoron, she decides to take him captive. And she stands up and announces to everyone, I am,
Right. So like in the
I'm
show.
I'm a Tully, men of the Tully, but not like in the show where almost every man stands up. Out of the 50, 12 guys. That's it. Only 12 of her father's bannermen stand up and grab Tyrion and go with her to the Erie, which she gets 6 of them killed
Oh,
on the way by mountain men.
okay, so they know her. They that's why
Yep,
only 12 stood up because the rest were like, I know this girl.
exactly. And they don't respect her father, who's a dirtbag too. Um,
You're
yeah,
kidding.
so yeah, no, yeah. The only good one literally is the Blackfish. He's intelligent, military guy, listens to the orders. When Robb becomes king, he tells Edmure, who after their father's death becomes Lord of Riverrun, tells him at all costs, you hold this castle. While he goes off and tries to get, instead of being lured in by the Lannisters, by Tywin, he tries to lure Tywin into him. Tywin's been playing the game longer, so he's already got people working on his side undercover. But anyways, Edmure decides, I'm going to go attack the Lannisters, and he loses the castle. So he leaves a fortified site.
What a dickhead.
What a dickhead. Those Tullys suck. And it's funny, after she takes Tyrion, the next chapter is Tyrion's. And literally he's laughing. He literally in his mind is like, oh, this woman's an idiot. Like only 12 guys stood up. And like she like seems so proud of herself, and he's just like, you are a moron. Like he keeps it to himself, but like he knows she has nothing, and she boldly tells everyone there, as my father's bannerman, you will not speak a word of what happens here today.
So
And he has to hold himself from laughing because he knows someone's going to let his father know, because they're going to get paid. Like she's a moron.
because
I,
Lannisters always pay their debts. Boom. I paid
oh,
attention.
yeah, they do. I propose.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah. It's one of their lesser known
Yeah,
Mm.
right. Mottos.
ethos.
I propose she sought out Varys to find out who Jon's mother was. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Yeah.
Why does she care? Oh well, because he's vindictive, I guess.
Yeah, he is. Bears sell me. I mean, he did lose to Ned, or not Ned, but to they lost at the Red Fork, right? The Red Fork. Yeah.
Yeah, but as Ned also stated, he was very happy that he never actually had to face him in battle.
One-on-one, he's
Yeah.
one of the best fighters alive
Who?
at his age.
Barristan Selmy.
Barristan Selmy, the
the fuck
King's
is that?
Guard.
Oh, he was the guy that was the best fighter in the world that got stabbed by 3 market peasants in an alleyway.
Yeah, in the show.
Oh, that guy? He
Yeah.
was awesome.
Yeah, he is awesome. He's literally like the battle of fire over in Essos right now, and he's doing just balls moves. He's awesome. Yeah, so she's a moron. She brings him to her sister, who also is like, "What are you
Totally
doing?"
sane, normal
Yeah,
person.
yeah, she's nuts. We do get to meet in one of those chapters the Blackfish,
Who
who's
has
like,
amazing breast milk too. You gotta
"Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
ask her son." Yeah, it's hot. Um,
guarantee Littlefinger took a hit.
oh, that's nasty, but probably true. Yeah, I mean, we're only in a Game of Thrones, people. She's an idiot. She almost gets Roderick killed. Then, I mean, like, and then we know that Tyrion speaks his case, has Bronn fight for him for um challenged by combat, and he walks. And then what does she do? She doesn't go to Winterfell, where her crippled son now is running Winterfell because her other son raised the banners and moved out for war. Now she decides she should go see Robb and counsel him. And at every turn, she embarrasses the shit out of him. Like any decision she makes, she has an issue with it, and make sure she says it in front of all his bannermen.
Oh, every decision he makes.
Yeah, like a 14-year-old kid who is just won maybe one battle, and she's like telling him he's wrong for what he's doing. And in front of his bannermen, who it's a very she's like, he literally says, like, I barely have, leadership, or the faith of these guys. I can easily not be king. And she doesn't get the hint, like, by not being king mean killed and somebody else being king. And then she decides before she goes down and tries to, I don't know, get the Baratheon brothers into a war. She decides to tell him when he's pissed off at her after she belittles him in front of the other guys. Oh yeah, by the way, keep that what's his name? Reek. What's Reek's
Oh, Theon Greyjoy?
Theon Greyjoy. Keep him close. Don't because he's Rob decided to have Theon go barter with his or treat with his father for his ships. And she's like,
Not before
no,
he
don't
fingers
do
his
that.
sister.
No, dude, don't do that. Keep him close. And he just doesn't want to hear it. But
Well, the thing of it is, the way that she was undermining everyone in front of him, no reason freaking Rickard Karstark did what he did. Because he's like, there's going to be no consequences of that. So she doesn't keep constantly undermining everything. He's basically his main general. Well, actually, was he the Vale Guard?
Wait a minute, say it one more time. What?
Was he part of the? Was he the Vale Guard?
Who?
The Karstarks. Were they the front line?
The Vanguard.
Oh, Vanguard, not Vale Guard. Sorry, Vanguard.
I believe so. Yeah, they're definitely up there in the Vanguard, I think.
Yeah. So because of all that, then he goes and kills the Lannister kids, which can all be tied straight back to Catelyn
Robb
undermining him in front of everyone.
Oh, yeah.
Right. And she walks out of there after he like, you're leaving. And she sees the Blackfish who's going to speak with Jon next. And not like even thinking, being like, look, we just got into an argument, but please stress to him, his father's, one of the last things he told me was keep Theon next to you. And no, she never brings up that it was Ned who said that. She just says, you got to keep Theon next to you. Like, why wouldn't you pull on the Ned strings and be like, no, but your father, that was one of the last things, the last thing he told me was to keep him next to you and not let him go because blah, 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 blah.
No, he also said that you were the favorite.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, she is horrible. And then she goes down, sees Renly, barters, treats with Renly, and then goes with Renly when Renly meets Stannis. So instead of going to speak to Stannis by herself and trying to get a good deal with both of them, he sees her as being, they're throwing their lot in with Renly. So right there, Stannis.
That causes the rift between Renly and that, which causes Stannis to have sex and give birth to, well, he doesn't give birth to a ghost.
Yeah, to a shadow baby.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like she literally sent them all on this. She is on a campaign of death. That's what she's on. freaking Catelyn
And I
Stark
bet in
fucking
her
worst.
mind, she's like, "Look at me! Look at all the badass things I'm doing.
She
Men
is.
rule this world.
Yeah,
I should be in charge."
she's horrible, dude. And
Don't worry about it. I've already broken the wheel.
she is dumb. She is dumb. I'm trying to think of what was the next thing that really pissed me off with her. Oh
Well,
god,
like literally, if she did nothing, everything
nothing.
changes. Like just take one of her bad decisions
Like
and just
not
say, all right,
leaving
you did something
Winterfell.
different.
Send somebody else.
Any of the decisions, and it changes the whole story drastically.
Well, think about it. She takes Tyrion. That's why Jaime ambushes Ned, killing, a couple, like 6 of his house guards, and one of them being Jory, who is like one of his best men he can trust, kills him. And
I
then
actually quite liked him in the show.
yeah, and then you have the Mountain destroying in villages in the Riverlands. So Ned has to send 50 more of his house guards. So when he finally confronts, he has to push his plans ahead. Like if she just let him go at his speed, they would have been on the road the next day, the kids and him, the 2 girls and him. She would have got back to Winterfell probably 2 weeks before him. So she could have got the banners raised, the archers at Moat Cailin, all that stuff ready for him. And he would have been ready for war where he definitely excels. Nope.
Even if she didn't do anything he said, but just went fucking
Went
home.
Yeah, you don't have to help me, but just please, for the love of God, do one thing. Don't actively get in my way.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's all she does.
Addition by subtraction.
Yep.
Yeah.
So now he has a broken leg.
She's the reason that Jaime lost a hand, because she was the one that let him go.
That's another thing. The Karstarks want blood, and what does she do? She wants Jon, and that's what that was the argument before he sent she was sent away, and she said the thing about keep Theon close. She was telling him to trade what's his name? The golden hand.
Jaime.
Jaime, thank you. Trade Jaime for the sisters. And he's like, I can't do that. Like, that's where he's like, I barely have control, and you're telling me to trade them for two daughters, my sisters? Like, they'll kill me. And so instead of even trading them, she just lets them go with a promise. Promise me.
Don't worry, I sent you with a woman. I'm sure the job will get done properly.
Unbelievable, dude.
I just love in this world of everyone being complete, untrustworthy fucking cunts. She's like, now just promise me that you'll do this thing for me.
Right. She's terrible, dude. Like, he literally, Ned is in the black cells and hears of what she's been doing, and he's like, just slit my throat. He turns to Varys and is like, yeah, just slit my throat and end it. And he's like, I wish I could, but I can't.
He's
She's
like, I'm
terrible.
going to do what your wife should have done. I'm going to leave you alone.
She's terrible, dude. She is one of the worst. And then, she gets Brienne into all this, and I don't know. Jaime does turn positive, but Brienne swears herself to her. And
why?
I still don't get why she did that. To me, it made no sense whatsoever.
She felt like she saw strength in her. I don't remember exactly, but she
Of
swears.
course, another woman making horrible
Right.
decisions.
Well, this is the best part. She swears her oath, and then Cat gets killed at the Red Wedding, and she still is searching for her daughters. And how does Cat, Lady Stoneheart, repay her? She hangs her and tells her, yeah, she tells her it's either death or you kill Jaime. The sword or the rope, and they hang her. And like the last thing she's able to say before she like passes out is sword. And they let her live.
What?
Yeah,
What
Lady
did she say?
Stoneheart hangs her. She goes, sword.
Sword? Oh.
Yeah, meaning she's gonna kill Jaime for her.
Or
She's
Does she do it?
worst.
no, we don't know.
The last time we see them, right? She is saying something like, Jaime, come with me. I found Sansa or
It's like,
something.
oh, James,
yeah.
look over here. Look at these flowers.
Why don't you come outside with me? Come on out.
Everything's pretty. Everything's all right. Yeah, poor Ned, dude. Ned is just this woman just destroyed his life.
Yep.
She did nothing he asked. He literally got killed because he had to speed up his plan faster than he wanted to because she was doing stupid shit.
And the fact that
Yeah.
she just thought, no, no, it's just gonna work. Trust me. I've seen plenty of battles and plays and stuff, so I know
Yeah.
what I'm doing.
I read it in a book once.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything she did started a war. Like she wanted this war. She wanted.
So this is the way that they can redeem the character. They can make it one. This was all a big setup from the Maesters, and it was actually a faceless person.
Mm-hmm.
That's why she wasn't interested in sex with Ned, because
Yeah.
you know he's not really gay, but you know.
Right.
Or it was some sort of weird like warging type scenario or something from the others, getting them to fight with each other.
Yeah, but for her entire life?
Yeah.
No. I think
up
it all
until,
started. It all started when he brought Jon back.
Well, so
Because-
she was cool before then?
Well, she knew that she was forced.
She played
You
the
know, he
brothers
was
against each other and Littlefinger as well. She wasn't necessarily that she was a whore, but she was as close to you can get without putting out.
Yeah.
And Ned was the only one that wasn't interested. He's just like, I don't want anything to do with you. I don't like you. And it's like, oh, I can't marry this bitch now. This is why you don't say yes to being a best man, because if the bride runs away, the groom runs away on the wedding day, you have to marry them. That's why best men weren't allowed to be people who are already married.
I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm. You'll be the best man for the job. Yeah.
Like you're standing there guaranteeing he'll get married or you'll marry him.
Guaranteeing a marriage. Yeah.
Wow. Oh, I just had another one. Oh crap!
Another marriage. Nice.
No, another how she screwed up, but now I forgot. But she did.
You
have. Oh, I'm sorry.
You put all the books in the LLM, didn't you? Didn't you put all the books in the LLM?
Yeah.
Then just ask it a question. Just literally say, how many times did she stuff up?
I did before, and it didn't give me what I wanted.
Okay. So you tried something once and it didn't happen. You went, yeah, that's it. AI sucks.
Well, it was right before we went live.
That's such a Catelyn move.
Oh, how dare you?
She wouldn't even try it. She heard that a sister's friend said something about it.
You know what's crazy? I was like, man, maybe she excels in other areas like cleans house and cooks. No, she doesn't do that. They have people for that shit.
Nothing.
She doesn't even sew.
Nothing. Old Nan does that.
Yeah.
Not
once did she ever ask about Old Nan either.
Let's see what it says. Hold on. Let me share this.
Okay.
Because it can speak for me, right? I don't have to speak.
Just.
All right. Let's see.
You have to add it to the stage.
How do I do that again?
All right, I'll do it. Here we go.
Add note.
No,
you mean that? I'm sorry. I didn't realize. All right. Audio overview of my
audio overview will take everything that's in there and it'll create a podcast based on that. And because of the length of it, it's probably going to be about a 40-minute one.
Ooh, that sounds like fun.
I put all the I don't know if you know the whole Blake Lively, Justin Baldini.
Oh yeah.
Drama shit that's going on at the moment. I put all that stuff in, all the evidence and all the news articles and everything in there, and it was basically like, yeah, she's a bitch, you know.
Oh, can you send that to me? That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't hear this one, but I like it. There's always a theory. There's also the theory Robb and Sansa not being Ned's kids because their direwolves connections were severed.
What?
So was Ned's head.
Yeah, that's true.
Wait,
so what do you mean by the connection? The direwolves connections were severed because they died?
Well, yeah, because Grey Wind, dude, that dude was a beast. It was Jon's fault for locking him up in a stable instead of letting him roam free. That's why he got killed.
But what does that have to do with them being bastards or not?
Well, I mean, if Ned was married to a Shardane or somebody else, Jon's mother, in front of a heart tree, they would be bastards. All the kids except for Jon.
Oh, got it.
So who's direwolves left at the moment? We got Snow and
3 of them: Summer, Ghost, and Nymeria. But she's like running wild with a super wolf pack.
Nymeria, that's Arya's,
Arya's.
right?
Yeah.
So what happened to Shaggy Dog?
Oh no, and Shaggy Dog. I'm sorry. Yeah,
Okay,
Shaggy Dog
yeah.
too. Yeah, there's 4 left. Yeah, because there were 6 altogether. Yeah, that makes sense. Shaggy Dog's gonna be. I so hope Rickon's story isn't a Shaggy Dog and he's like this just crazed 5-year-old. That'd be dope.
I hope he learns to run away, but not in a straight line.
Yeah, zigzag, zig then zag, not zag then zig. Stupid kid. You know what drives me nuts too is like they're all
Steering
so
wheel on your balls?
what?
He said, "What drives you nuts?" I said, "A steering wheel on your balls." Drives
I told you not
nuts.
to. I told you not to tell anybody about that. Like the idea that he was going to do like a time jump between book 1 or 2 or 2 to 3, like a 5-year time jump, and he never did it. So like Rickon's only like maybe 5 now.
So we
So
decided
like
to real life.
just I was hoping he'd be like 10 and just a wild freaking warrior.
Well, he has no mother.
Yep. So yeah, did you ask it down? You ask it the question there. You start typing, where
Yeah.
it says the word "start typing."
Okay.
The page. Yeah.
I
There.
did.
Ask it a
That's-
question.
I did.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah. It says Catelyn Stark is portrayed as a character who makes decisions that have significant negative consequences, often driven by her emotions and biases. Here's why she might be seen as the worst, according to sources: mistrust and dislikes of Jon Snow, her role in Tyrion's capture, her emotional decision making, her inability to see the bigger picture. That's a huge one. Her treatment of others, like Jon and Brienne.
Like everyone.
Yeah, everybody. Her actions contribute to the Red Wedding. Catelyn's choices and actions play a role in the events leading to the Red Wedding, where Robb and many are betrayed. She urges Robb not to marry the Frey girl, but also does not come up with a reasonable alternative. What? She is killed at the Red Wedding. Well, that's another thing. Let's just it's the Isle of Skagos, I believe. Oh, there we go, Skagos. When Robb needs to cross the twins, she's like, "Don't worry, I know my my uncle's here, the Blackfish, but I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna be the one who mediates this for you." And she comes out and is like, "Yeah, you have to marry one of his daughters or granddaughters, and your sister's gonna get married off too. Blah blah blah." The Blackfish could have walked in and just been like, "You're a bannerman of House River Run. You will allow us to march across, and you will bring your forces, or we will destroy the twins."
So she basically pulled a Nico and and traded away the equivalent of Luca for nothing.
For nothing. For absolutely nothing.
For
Yeah, actually made it
fucking
worse.
Nothing.
She
Yeah.
made it worse. He got such a good deal out of it. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable.
It's like, all right, we're gonna give you 99% of our stuff. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do that. She's like, yeah, but I want that cup over there. He's like, no, I'm gonna keep the cup. And she's like, no deal. Fuck yous. Let's go to war. You know?
Yeah. She's an idiot. Rickon went to the so-called, I would say, island of cannibals, right? Yeah, I want to see him as the freaking feral child. Yeah, me too. Riding like a unicorn, because they say there's unicorns on that island.
Is that like South? What?
Skagos.
Skagos. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's like kind of like northeast above White Harbor.
Oh,
Almost
I thought it was
like
below. Oh, okay.
Oh no, it's like even like part of it is even to the wall. Yeah, hold on. I'll show you.
What was the area that what's his name and his dragon flew down for like ages? Just kept going south.
Oh no, that was a woman. She went, yeah. You're
Oh,
right.
then I don't believe it then. No, never mind.
Exactly. She went to the continent of you said it before. What was it?
Southos?
Yeah, something like that.
Because there's Westos, there's Essos, but no, it's not Northos. It's I can't remember what it's called.
Top right where you see like a green tree. Yeah, that's Skagos. So it's like even to the gift. Yeah, it's pretty much on the wall. This thing is still generating. We'll have to worry about it another time.
Yeah, because I gotta get going.
Yeah.
I gotta get ready for.
What do you got?
Well, coming up.
Yeah.
Coming up in about 20 minutes, we have episode 3 of Madapap.
Nice.
And we're going to be talking about Dr. Bob Lilly, who, I'm trying not to give away too much, who
He's
wanted
not
to
an
teach-
NFL player.
Nope. He wanted to teach dolphins how to speak English so that we could communicate with aliens.
I mean, that I don't hear anything
I've gotta
wrong with
say,
that.
Without giving away his methods, I would have liked to have been in the room when they were spitballing those ideas. And
Oh,
then
yeah.
what did they turn around and go, now that seems a little bit weird.
Oh, because he did actually work for the government.
Yes.
That's the only reason. That makes so much sense.
But gotta get going. That was fun.
Yeah.
I enjoyed listening to all. That was cool.
Thanks, Mad. I appreciate you jumping in, man.
Yeah, man. See you guys later.
Later, buddy. All right. Let's oh wait a minute. We can listen to like a minute or two of this. You were right though. It's like 32 minutes.
All right, welcome back to the deep dive. Today,
Thing is so
we're going
cool.
to get right into it, and we're diving into Westeros. We've got excerpts from A Feast for Crows, A Dance with Dragons, A Storm of Swords, and The World of Ice and Fire.
Oh wow.
Ready to go. And by the end of this deep dive, you'll be saying,
Quite a stack of material
top
there.
where
yeah,
there's-
you'll be seeing
there's
that
3
Westeros
dots up
isn't
the top.
all just fire.
You can
Mhm.
change the speed. Yeah, just go change speed. Go to like 1.2.
2.
And blood, but it's about power in all its kind of messy and fascinating forms.
Absolutely. It's
Ready to explore.
a topic that
Okay,
I think is really at the core of so much of what makes this world tick.
right.
Mm-hmm.
Let's start with a
Yeah, I
group
agree.
that's often misunderstood.
Hmm.
The Ironborn. What makes these salty
Wait,
sea
why is he
dogs
talking
tick? I mean,
about
their whole culture
Ironborn?
seems built around drowning
Right.
and not dying.
The
Okay.
drowned.
Let's see if we jump ahead.
Potent.
Yeah.
What about Daenerys?
Daenerys.
Ways both big and small.
Right. And it comes in so many different forms. Like we've got
It
Melisandre.
goes under the red.
Okay. Man, I don't know why I did that. That's
No,
weird.
as I said, when you hit generate the audio, it's gonna do a podcast based on all the stuff that you've put in there, not what the
Oh,
questions you wrote. Those are just for you. Just write the questions and it'll give you where they are. So
Oh, gotcha. Okay. It's
Yeah.
still really cool. All right. Here's the link, everybody, for Mad. So do a Spork raid over there. And we got
A
to
grade.
all right. So 5 $2 super chats. So we didn't make 5, we got 2. So no extra stream for you people. No, but I thank everybody for coming out tonight. Jane gifted a membership, also a $2 super chat. Liam also a $2 super chat. I appreciate you guys very much so. Let me see if I X out of this because I felt like my camera was lagging. But thank
there
you
you go.
very much.
You got your frame rate back.
Yeah, it was weird. Yeah, it was because it was generating that, I guess. But thanks, Grant. You got anything you want to share with the people before we go?
No, still editing my interview with Doug E. Hughes. He's the main bad guy from the TV series From. So that should be dropping this week. So come check that out.
That's so awesome, dude.
And yeah, apart from that, nothing else going on. We got the Full Aussie coming back soon, which is not going to be known as the Full Aussie anymore. It's just going to be called Full Aussie Project. So it's going to be called FAP. So
Okay.
yeah, so join me on the weekend for a FAP. On Wednesdays we have the dump.
Yep.
And we got gaming.
Wait a
with
minute, you guys have a dump now?
Yeah, we've
Do I
always
get
had a
any-
dump.
Before me?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I didn't know
Yeah,
you
it's been
guys
going on
called
for
it the
ages.
Wednesday dump. My bad.
Yeah.
Kind of bad now.
And gaming and new channel, which is basically going to be shortened to gay. So come join us for that. So gay on Monday, having a dump on Wednesday, and a FAP on the weekend.
Yeah, that's awesome. Sonny, no, thank you guys. You guys make the stream. You great questions, great conversation in the chat. I appreciate you guys so much. Saturday, we go to Aluminum Spork, where we will be talking about the Gemstone File. If you've never heard of it, I don't know where my boy Brian McCann went, but you never heard of it, it is one of the craziest files that came out in like 75, talking about Onassis, the Kennedys, murders, deception, mafia. It is Howard Hughes. It's going to be a good one. Ancient One, thank you for being here too, buddy. No worries coming at the end, but make sure you guys are here Saturday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. Have a great night, everybody. Peace.
Okay, stop right there before you move on. Welcome to Sporky News Podcast. My name is Scott, and I'm asking you to give me a chance at your subscription. I mean, it is free, so if you hit the button, I'd really appreciate it. What do we talk about here? We talk about anything nerdish, plus anything I think in the world is crazy. You might not agree with my views. That's okay, because here you're allowed to disagree and still be friends, unlike the world around us.
Thanks,
Isn't
Johnny.
that crazy? We don't
Thanks,
have to hate
Christy.
each other because we don't have the same
Ancient One,
beliefs.
Sonny,
What we do have to
Ginger,
do is understand that each person is different. And if we give each other an
Everybody,
ear
just
and
gotta
listen,
help
instead of thinking
anyone.
about what we're going to say next, we actually
And
might
everybody
learn
else.
something that can change our lives forever. And I'm not saying it will be a comic movie we're covering or a Song of Ice and Fire book that I'm, spewing out about. But you might learn something about yourself. And isn't that the most important thing?